Hello guys, let us see what YAML means. A YAML, it stands for YAML and a markup language. It's not a programming language, neither it's a markup language. It is a serialization language. Now when I say serialization, it means you can send the data from one machine to another machine by serializing it into a file format. JSON and XML, they are the two other alternatives to YAML. YAML is very famous because it's very human friendly. The way you are going to write the contents inside YAML file, they are human readable and easy to process. That's the reason YAML is preferred when you are trying to configure the applications or when you are trying to put the configurations into the files. It's very useful when you want to manage the data, and it also supports the Unicode printing characters. Another feature or the important feature of YAML is it's easy to read. Now what are the basic things that you need to know about YAML? YAML is a case-sensitive language. When you are writing the code in YAML files, a YAML file may have .yaml or YML as extensions. You can choose any one of them. YAML supports both of them. YAML does not support tabs. When you want to use a tab, you can prefer a space over it. So don't use tab, use a spaces instead. In YAML, if you want to put something like a comment, it starts with hash, and very important, there has to be at least one white space after the hash character in order to comment that line. We'll see that practically by writing a very simple YAML file. But before that, let us see what is there inside it. So inside YAML, there are only three things. One of this is a scalar. Now what is a scalar? A scalar represents a single value. For example, 20 and 40, these are the integer values. Or Steve without having any single quote or double quote, or Jobs having double quotes, or USA having single quote. All of them are nothing but the strings. 4.5 or with the E symbol, both of them are the floats. So a scalar simply means it is going to represent a single value. Now sometimes having only 20 or 40 won't make any sense. So you want to associate those values with the keys. That is called as a mapping. This is the second thing you can have in YAML. So YAML has a key value pair called as a mapping, in which you can find name is a key and person1 is a value. Again, address is the key, India is the value, so on and so forth. So a value can be identified by using unique key. The key has to be unique here. And of course, key and value are separated by using colon. Please see to it that a white space is required after colon to separate value from key. This is mandatory. If you skip that white space, YAML is going to give you an error. Now, when you are having the key value pairs, sometimes you want to club them together inside a collection. So collection inside YAML is called as a sequence. It represents the list of values. It must be written on separate lines using dash or a space, which you can use a space or you can use a dash, whichever you can prefer. Again, space after dash is mandatory. For example, when I say pet animals, look at this. Hash means it's a comment. So I'm just having a collection of pet animals, cat and dog. Both of them are listed on separate lines starting with the dash, and there is a gap, there is a space in between dash and the cat, dash and the dog. Another example, programming languages. Again, this is a comment and you are having three programming languages in it, C, C++ and Java. So when you talk about a sequence is nothing but collection of values or list of values. Okay, so when you talk about a YAML contains only three things. That's a scalar, there is a mapping, and there is a sequence. Okay, now let's go and see a quick example of how to write a YAML file and how to validate it. So let us use Visual Studio Code, and there I'm going to create a file named manager.yaml. You may use YAML you may use YAML or YML. Both of them are perfectly fine. Now what I want to add here? So I want to add some information about a manager. For example, I may say a manager is having a name. Please see to it that there has to be a space between a key and a value. So this is manager1. So this is a manager name, manager1. The manager may have an email. So this is an email. This time I'm going to say manager1 say test.com. You may use double quote or you may use single quote. Both of them will represent a string. See to it, I'm not using any comma there. Maybe manager is having an age, so probably age is 40 for example. In this case, because it is a complete number, a whole number, it represents an integer. Same thing, maybe I can use a number in decimal or a float. Maybe I can say the person is having, let's say 15.50 as a salary. The person watches too many movies, so he likes movies, and if I look at that, this is a key, and inside this key I'm having the list of movies. For example, this person likes AI, artificial intelligence, it's one of the nice movies. Another one which I like most, this is Lucy, Scarlett Johansson. Another one, maybe I can say Ex Machina, another very nice movie you can watch. So person like manager 1, he's the manager and he likes those movies. Now when you talk about this, it is a key and this is the list of movies. It is nothing but a sequence. This is nothing but a mapping. This is nothing but a mapping. All of them are the mapping. This represents individual value or simply a scalar. Okay, now because it is a manager, this person is a manager, the manager is having few employees working under him. So probably these are the employees working under him. Now I may say there is an employee with the name employee 1, or maybe I can say there is an employee 2, so on and so forth. But not only the name, I want to also add some information about those employees. So for example, EMP1 is the name, or maybe the employee 1 is having 30 as an age, so on and so forth. To do this, maybe you can say that this is the name equals to EMP1, see to it, follow spaces, and there we can say the person or the EMP is having an age, let's say 35. I may use a separate format or a distinct format, like maybe you can use something like this, where I can say, where I can say name is equals to EMP2, for example. Not necessary that you have to use a quote here, but if you want, you can prefer one. Maybe I can say this is an age of that person, let's say 30. So you go with this style or you go with this style, you ultimately are having the objects within that list. This is a string value, all of them are the strings inside movies, and these two, this one and this one, this represents a collection of key value pairs called as an object, and one object is there at 0th position on that list, another object is there on the first position of that list. So this represents a list, this represents a list, this is the list of strings, this is the list of objects. Now sometimes when you are in YAML, you might go for forcing some data types. For example, when I say this is a 40, this is by default considered as a 40 as an integer. But if I want this to be used as a float instead, or I want that 40 to be considered as a 40.0, I can force by saying float 40. What do you mean by float 40? For float 40 simply means it is going to render it as 40.0 because this is now considered as a float. This is the way you may create or you may have a forcing on top of the value. Now other than that, a very simple thing I want to show you here, something called as an anchoring. Now let's say I want to have an ID for this manager, and in my company the name of that person or the name of that manager itself is an ID. Now I don't want to repeat the value here. I mean, I can by doing something like this, but I don't have to, because in which case you can go for anchoring. So maybe I can say this is the name, this is called as anchor, and I can use that value by saying a star name. So name here is called as an anchor, and you are going to use that anchor right here. So this is the way I'm saying ID is having exactly same value as name. So whatever is there inside manager will come inside that ID. So I have written few things here. Probably I'm just going to copy that and want to validate it. How do I validate that? To validate it, you can go to, let's say, any browser, go to YAML lint. There are various different websites where you can validate it. I'm using a YAML lint here, and simply go back and paste it there. So probably I'm going to paste it and say go. So when I say go, it shows your a YAML syntax is a valid. Note it. In this case, age is not rendered as a 40. Instead, it is rendered as 40.0. The reason behind this is very simple. We forced YAML to consider 40 as a float, and that is the reason why instead of saying 40, it is considering it as a float. So this is a quick example of how to write YAML and how to validate it. So again, remember that in case of YAML, there are three things. One is called as a scalar. It represents a single value. The other one is called as a mapping. It's a key value pair. And the last one is called as a sequence, which represents a list of values. Hopefully, this is a quick introduction to YAML and you might have understood how to write one. You can use YAML in various different cases. For example, it can be used to write a Docker Compose file, or it can be used to write a configuration file in Kubernetes. There are various different scenarios where YAML is used. This was a quick overview of YAML. Thank you very much for your time.